All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. Happy first day of daylight savings time. I hope the time change hasn't messed with you too much. I apologize for Beth shouting at our dogs in the background if you can hear that. The big dog doesn't respond well to being told to come back inside. So yeah. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hello, James. What's in the box indeed? Let's get on this. So I wanted to talk about something real quick. A friend of mine sent, I know I can hear and it bothers me a little bit. Also, let me know if the sound quality is okay. This got yanked off the desk yesterday and it's got a big old dent in the top now. So I'm worried that it hit the condenser inside. So if you hear like pops or snaps or anything like that, let me know, because I think I might need to get a new mic, which sucks, but hopefully it's just cosmetic and I didn't really damage anything. Okay, cool. So a lug member sent me this yesterday, and I'm not upset, but I'm a little kind of, the reason I build certain things is because no one else has. Like, I don't want to redo things people have already built. I want to try to be original with the things I build. So sometimes I'll look online for people who have already maybe built things. And let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So there's this, I'm going to mute it so you don't see it. But there's this dude who's building basically what he's calling the hunting grounds. And he's going to go through and design these little areas with maps and mocks of Horizon Zero Dawn creatures behind it. And I feel like I need to preemptively get the rest of my machines done so I can say that I've at least got them all built before this guy with almost 10,000 subscribers does it. And everybody goes, "That's amazing, you're a genius." And I'm like, ugh. So, because up until now, it's just been people who've done like one or two machines and called it a day, but I don't think anyone's like built them all at once, so I'm a little worried. Also, he's doing like some great ideas for like the landscaping, and I don't have a whole lot of landscaping pieces. His mock is really good. I think it's a little big considering how big the tall neck is, but it's still really good. But that's the only one he's done so far, and he just started. So, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm no closer to getting all the pieces for my, the rest of the machines as I was previously, because it's still quite expensive. So I'm going to hit up Bricks and Minifigs and see if I can find some and lower some of that cost a little bit. So, but anyway, today's build is not any of that. Today's build is the 25th anniversary of Star Wars Lego Star Wars R2-D2. Now, this is the third iteration of a giant buildable R2-D2. We had one come out probably 2 years ago, and I have that one. We'll be doing a size comparison when this is done. This will not be done in one sitting. This will probably take about 2 streams to do, so this will be Thursday as well. Or maybe Tuesday night. It depends on how I'm feeling. I don't want to interrupt anybody else's stream time, but I also want to get this done. It's going to be a little different in that the leg doesn't live inside. The third leg doesn't live inside the body and comes out later. It attaches. All of its little features don't pop out from inside. They kind of, you take one piece off and put the other one on, kind of thing. So because it's limited in space, it's about, I think, 2/3 the size of the other one. So it doesn't have the interior capacity to do that kind of thing. So that's a little limiting. It might look a little better because of the reduced scale. So we'll see how it goes. I'm also mostly interested in getting the Darth Malak figure. So let's pop this open and start building. So yeah, time change today. I forgot about it. with everybody, I don't have to worry about usually updating clocks and stuff. You gotta fix the stove, gotta fix the microwave, gotta fix that one battery-powered clock on a wall. You also generally have to fix your car. Like if your car has a clock, mine needs a manual. Adjustment. It doesn't update on its own. And yeah, there are 11 bags, I think, 12 bags. So we're not going to get through this all today, but we will get through it as quickly as we can. Bag 1. 6, 4, 9. I think we'll probably get through 4 or 5 bags today. So the next step in the Horizon landscape project is to try to get as many colored wedge plates as I can to help with the the layering of the ground. Otherwise, this is going to be a lot of chunky 2x4 bricks, 2x2 bricks making up. And I think what I might do is, instead of relying on that to make like nice transitions, is to just build it up as fast as I can, given what I've got, and then go back and say, okay, this area looks like it could use some work, so I'm going to go ahead and layer that. For the most part, it's just going to be a delivery vehicle for the machines itself. Like, the landscape isn't the focus of the build. The machines are, so hopefully I'll be able to get that done. And that's a lot of pins. I never like seeing the first thing that happens is you get 38, a bag of 100 pins or whatever. But this one, like the old one's, just going to be a giant Technic square cube to hold, it's built like the Saturn V, where it's a core and then there's stuff attached on the outside. So all right, let's get started. We'll do the scan of everything later. That's a really adorable little build the world, little sea turtle with a fan on it. We do get an R2 in the first bag. I was hoping we could get a Malak in the first bag because I have a feeling the Malak comes at the end. But I wanted to show you that I have, if we don't get to Malak today, because I want to bring this to my meeting, next meeting. Oh, it's a dark-headed R2. Okay. So there's your R2. Let me see if the printing is good. Printing looks straighter than normal, but not 100% straight. It still leans a little bit to one side. You can see it's lower on that side a little bit. Printed back, which I don't think is very common. Nothing printed on the legs, so there you go. R2. I wanted to show this thing off. So this is a MOCrofighter Sith fighter from Knights of the Old Republic, and I wanted to put Malak in this. I've also got designed like a Sith interdictor cruiser, a couple other things from Knights of the Old Republic that could be used for that. But I built this yesterday. It's not exactly how I designed it. Some of the part coloring's different. I wanted a little more light gray and a little less dark blue gray, but I think it still works. The wings do fold in, like in the game, right? They collapse in. These do too, but there's a bit of design in the studio versus in real life build. These wings up here aren't being held together by much, just that grill plate, and they come off real easily. So I'm probably going to go back and redo that so they don't fall apart as easily, but I think overall this looks pretty good. And I can't wait to put the figure in that. I'm going to put this guy up here as a reminder. And let's get to building. So Austin FC played last night, and we were in the supporter section as per usual. And it was a nice kind of chilly night. It was in the 50s. so we could wear sweatshirts, and friends that I went with wore their like onesies, their green onesies. And the supporter section last night was really fun, and seeing everybody was a lot of fun as usual. I just wish the team would have won. We were up 2-1 in stoppage time. There are 5 minutes of stoppage time. And if you're not familiar with how soccer works, it's 2 45-minute halves. And at the end of each half, they have something called stoppage time because they have to apparently legally play 45 full minutes. So if there's any time spent throwing the ball in, somebody getting hurt, time spent getting the ball out of an out of bounds area into like a goal kick or a corner kick, time spent calling penalties, that kind of thing. They have a stopwatch usually, and they'll keep track of any time play is not going. And at the end of it, they say, all right, we need to add 5 minutes of stoppage time to the end of this. So they play a full 45 minutes. So the first half had like 2 minutes. It was really ridiculous. Second half had 5 minutes. And at 3 minutes in, St. Louis, or was it? No, it was Salt Lake. No, it was St. Louis. Scored, tying the game. So at the end, it was 2-2, and which means Austin still hasn't won anything this season. We're only like 4 games in, and we expect this to be the precursor to a building year. So it's not a lot is expected. We still have the same team we had last year, and that team didn't do very well. And a lot of the changes that were made in the off season were to get like, it functions different from like hockey or American football, where you get like draft picks and things like that. People are constantly being traded. There's like designated players that you can get to avoid cap structure. There's loaned players, all kinds of weirdness. So, but there's still like trade deadlines and things. So we'll see how it goes. We're not, I'm not really looking forward to like a winning season or anything. So just going and hanging out with people that I like, getting a chance, once a week, once every 2 weeks to jump up and down and get water thrown on you. It's pretty fun. The ref strike is still going on. So the MLS's referees are on strike for, what most people strike for: better pay, better conditions, better benefits, things like that. So they've got scab refs, and so in protest, the supporter group, Los Verdes, is not participating in any concessions while at the stadium. No beer, no food, no merchandise until the strike settled, which means there was a new kit this year, a new uniform, a new jersey, which we're not getting until the strike's over. It also means that while we're there, we don't eat or drink. So you got to eat or drink ahead of time, which is fine. I would rather hit the little friendly brewery ahead of time and get cheaper food and beer. What's up, Brett? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday. How's your day going? We're talking Major League Soccer right now at the moment, because I don't think since Thursday there's been a ton of Lego news. I can check Discord in a second to make sure that there's nothing major coming up. So my throat is a little hoarse and I've got a bit of a headache. Not because of like hangovers or drinking or anything like that, just because being outside and shouting, dries you out, gives you a bit of a headache, so you got to be careful. The new Mario train is majorly awesome. Let's take a look. Do I have another browser open here? Take a look real quick. Give me an image. Let's do oh, it might be in. Sometimes they have it up at Brickset where they've got an article about it, but there we go. That looks super playable too. Let's look for some good pieces. We got some of these dark red slopes down here. Curved corner bricks, curved corner slopes. Gray clouds, if those are gray. I can't tell if that's one piece or like a built piece. It's pretty cool. Kind of a lavender radar dish there. But this looks super playable, like a launching cannon. These are all going to be printed, right? Doors in the article or building in the building are great too. That's cool. Yeah, right on. I'm not a Mario person. I probably won't get it, but that looks really neat. I agree. I like the playability. The thing I do like about the Mario sets is its playability. It really encourages a bit more stick with this set for a bit and play with it before you take it apart, which is always nice to have. I think a lot of what we have is drifting towards nice piece. Drifting towards a lot of this is a display or this is just parts, right? So being able to have more sets that encourage you to play with it a little bit before you tear it down is always good. I was telling a friend I need to go camp out at a Bricks and Minifigs and get some pieces. I need to bring some flyers for Brick Rodeo up to them. And then just go live up there for a few hours trying to get some pieces for Horizon machines. See if I can cut down on some of the stuff I have to order from Bricklink. I've done that a couple times, and every time I go, I find like 3 pieces that I need. And I'm like, I just spent like an hour. And I found 3 pieces. So then I'm like, well, what do I do now? I don't want to leave here with like nothing. So I end up buying a set or a minifigure. I did something really... Oh, so I finished... I also did this. Let me show you. I finished the lunar lander. So this is the lunar lander. Lunar lander. Martian lander. Mars lander for the space base. So it's done. I just wanted to get it finished. There's nothing inside here. So like ideally there'd be a person in here. Like from here up kind of sitting so they can see what's going on like a pilot. And then under here would be like the passengers or the cargo that needs to be ferried up and down. So if I wanted to, I could build a thing in there to, you know, have people come in and out. There's a little ladder on the landing pad to illustrate that this can open up. I redid the bottom heat shields. See if I can pry these off so I can show you what I did. This technique, I don't know if our lug member found it or not, but if they found it online, but so these are the 2 length bars with that little ring on them, right? And then these are the 1x1s that are too high 2 levels high. And if you put them together upside down, they make a pretty good reverse brick piece. And that worked a lot better than the switched hinges that I had, because the switched hinges had like a little, like a half a, not even half plate, like a quarter plate distance between them, and so they either wanted to be farther this way or farther this way a little bit, so there was a gap, but it also didn't really close down. These close down really nice, so it's very solid, lines up really well here, not a lot of seam. So I think it looks fine. It's serviceable. It's exactly what I need it to be. It's not anything crazy. And I shortened the legs a little bit because it felt like the legs were just a little too long. If I have time, I'll go back and put some like flaps on here so it looks like these came out of somewhere. But as is, I'm happy the way it is. So, but this reminded me of it, just a little bitty, like half one of these little axles in here. Reminded me of that. So I thought I'd share. So the Mars base, for all intents and purposes, for my contribution, is now complete. And I'm going to leave it alone until it needs to figure out how to be packed up and transported to the convention center, or to the hotel. Yeah, they do. The idea though is that this is it's a re-entry vehicle. Like, I like those little things, right? But it has to go up and down, so it doesn't need to be really spectacular. I was actually trying to make it more functional than cool looking. It needs to come in, it needs to re-enter the atmosphere, as thin as it is, a lot. And if I greeble it up a lot to make it look cool, in my mind, it's gonna catch a lot of atmosphere and be torn up. So that's the whole reason it's kind of smooth looking. I could probably replace these with like different colors or something. But yeah, I had thought of that. Maybe break it up a little bit with some color, but I'm okay with it. I mean, that's really flat, you know. I think this looks probably akin to something that actually would exist in NASA. You know, I think it would work well. So that was my whole thing. Some cleaning the blank side with a brusher. Maybe someone cleaning. Oh, I see. Like while it's sitting there. Yeah. Or have it like opened up and they're like working on it with some tools or something. I get you. Yeah. I think amidst all the other craziness that will be the Mars base, I don't think it's going to really... I think people are going to bring their own landing pads and they're going to put Galaxy Explorers on them or the like to fit more with the classic space figures. And that's fine. I think that'll dress it up quite nice. I think the mix of classic space and newer space from the Lego group is going to be... is going to make a lot of people happy. I think it's going to tweak me out a lot because it's not, you know, it's not all similar, but I think a lot of people will find the whimsy pretty good. But I agree. It's a little boring, but you know, not everything is aesthetically awesome. I also need to be done with it so I can keep moving on to different things. Bunch of those, or 2 of those. How's your giant monolith coming along? And will it travel well? Do you have it to where you can bring it places? These are great sizes too. These are like 2 brick high panels. I like them a lot. I wish I had more of these. Spending a lot of time on the structure, like the interior part. Make sure it stays up. Cool. Yeah, I'm trying to build the Horizon stuff, so it's all just like kind of like what TBRR does, where it's just like a plate with a bunch of stuff on it that can be stacked, that can be put into a box and not worry about, and then loose plant things that you can put on later if you want. I'm trying not to get too crazy with structures and stuff. I've already got one ruins that doesn't travel really easily. But the rest, I think I'm just going to make like, these are rocks and hills and things, so it can move. I'm not putting a ton of stuff together on that day. Because I think I'm going to bring my microfighters again. And I want to give myself a lot of time to make sure to get everything put up okay. And the microfighters just take a long time to put up. Might see if I can conscript some help in the form of one of my kids, if they've got that weekend available. Because they travel well. They each individually live in a Ziploc bag. Maybe I have fluorescent parts behind the panels where they fell off and greeble in there. Yeah, that'd be cool. You don't have to do a ton of greebling. Just like a wash of plates, like this kind of plate, or something with like the grid or the grill plates on it underneath it, so it looks like this is the kind of structure that the panels were laid on, you know? It's a cool project, man. All right. I think the internal cage is almost done. So yeah, like anything, we're building a big, gonna be legs on the side, you know. That's gonna be the front, probably. So we'll see how it goes. Keeping with the which side is which, I think they did a good job of red and green here. Green side, right side, or green side, red side. All right, extra pieces, just some Technic bits. Oh, you know what? This, I don't think I got... Did that get used? Yes, it did. Okay, so having an extra is fine. I gotta remember that piece being used. So. I have about 30 metallic silver rubber hoses and cables sync. Oh, those would be great. Oh, right away, we're building Malak. Cool. I thought he was going to be one of these things where we build the stand at the end and he gets built last. So I was like, man, I'm going to have to wait till this guy gets built last. But nope, second bag. So Darth Malak, or just Malak, is, I think he's a human that was a disciple of Darth Revan, and at one point fell out of favor with him. I'm trying to remember my Knights of the Old Republic lore, because Darth Revan was a pretty complicated character. And then we've got a face mask. This is the other thing where I couldn't really kit bash this, because this is a very specific part, which is a new part for Lego, is this whole jaw part here. Which I'm really grateful that they did. Because there's a breathing mask bit that you can get that kind of works. And you can get like an Utapau head or something to kind of fill it in. But there's markers on his head that you don't get to see. So there's your Darth Malak. And he can go... with my Darth Revan. There's a knife. I needed that knife. So it's a Knights of the Old Republic get-together. All I need is a Kyle Katarn over... Well, Kyle Katarn is Jedi Outcast. Never mind. But yeah, so there you go. There's your Malak. Now your Malak can now go in the Sith Infiltrator, or the Sith Fighter. This cape might get in the way. There you go. Darth Malak in a Sith Fighter. Super happy about that. And the stand, we're building the stand right away. A printed tile, not a tile with that needs a sticker. What needs a sticker? 25 years of Star Wars Lego. Of course they're going to print that. They're not going to sticker that. It's about them. And this just sits over here with him. So I'll put it over here. And then a black piece. I'm guessing that's for R2. So we'll set aside a black piece there. All right, continuing on. Gotta make sure I get my orientation right. Trying to think of what's next. So, Horizon stuff, naturally. My microfighters are kind of ready to go. I think I've got one or two more that I could add to bring, which means I need to update my little spreadsheet about where they are. I think I might leave a few out that I don't think were huge hits, but we'll see how it goes, how much table space I can get. The table space was at a premium last time, like they were basically on top of each other. And I think it was a little, not messy, but it was a little much. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how else to display all these. Don't see this piece often. 8x8 in, or 6x6 in dark blue. It's a nice piece. Looks like something's on it. It is. I got my Myths and Legends done. It's my Myths and Legends. It's using all the pieces. It's on 8x8. I think it turned out well. Little phalanx of soldiers dragging in a Trojan horse-ish character. I think it works pretty well. I foresee a lot of consternation about which ones get to be put up in the store. Yeah, you could do that. It is to some, it isn't to others. I mean, for all we know, the Trojan horse thing may or may not have happened. I don't know if we've got... I know we've got anecdotal stories of it happening, but I don't know if they've found like remnants of the horse. Oddly placed. Let's see. And then after that is let's see, that'll be the March meeting, then April meeting will be I think we decided 16 by 16 tower. So everybody gets 16 by 16 plates and make a like an apartment complex of stuff. And then after that is the 32 by 32 white base plates with the Texas mosaic again. So we're going to need to get out a template for that, so everybody can do that. Then June is going to be buggies and classic space minifigs as the seed part, and the theme is the Mars base kit. So I mean, it's not anything drastic. It's just all the same stuff for the upcoming convention. So that's cool. I want to keep in contact with the Austin Beer Works people so we can keep them fresh in mind for the event in September. I also am expecting to hear back from the Austin Public Library people to do a design and build of the library of the Austin Public Library. When I initially spoke to them about it, I was like, now I don't want to downplay this because I don't want to do it. I absolutely 100% want to do this for you guys. But you have to know that custom... Hey, Greg. Happy Sunday. You have to know that custom commissioned Lego models are expensive. And I was like, the last couple times I've done this, I haven't even said it'll cost you this much for me to do it, plus whatever the pieces cost. Because the pieces cost is a sticker shock. And so half the time I'm like, I'll just make it. You guys pay the pieces. You guys buy all the pieces, I'll make it for you. And I know that's not, you know, you should get paid for your time and your design skills and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, but if I say it's going to cost me, you know, $600 to get all the pieces and then $1,000 for my time and effort, because it'll be a multi-month process, no one's going to pay that. It's bad enough that, you know, the model's going to be $500 to $600 in pieces. And it's not like I'm volunteering any of my own pieces. This is 100% going to be bought off Bricklink. Although if we planned enough ahead of time and I knew what the design was, I can say, okay, as long as you don't need it soon, I can see how much I can get, let's say, off project support or off lug bulk where I can use that as part of the design. And that way I can pad it a little bit with pieces for myself. As well as some necessary pieces for the build. But I'm going to wait to hear back from them. Get some dimensions, get some, like they have a budget for stuff like that. And if they say we have a budget of $300, then I'm going to make something that's about this big. And be like, so $300 will get you. Sorry. You know, you can't have a giant mural for like no money. Or a giant, you know, scale model for like $0. Best we can do is $200. Like, all right, well, you're going to get a $200 set. So I think this is going to be like one of the front panels. What are you up to, Greg? What are you building? What are you working on? What are you buying? What are you hoarding? What are you army building? What's going on in your life? So something that's come up a lot in, so I'm on Blue Sky, and the people I follow on Blue Sky aren't necessarily 100% Lego people. They are just, they're different, you know, they've got different hobbies and stuff, and occasionally we'll drift into some Lego collecting and some Lego building and things like that. But there are dedicated Lego people, and that's cool. But something I've seen a lot on some social media lately is people calling the Dune set, the ornithopter, they call it a quadcopter. And that hurts me as a fan because that's not, it's not even the name on the box on the set. It's not called quadcopter. So unless you're saying this out of some weird sense of like, you know, they should call it this because this is how it existed in lore or something. I don't know, because it's not even really right. The other thing is, it's not a quadcopter. There are 8 wings. So not only are you calling it the wrong thing, you're not even able to count properly. I don't get it. I don't know why. So every time I see that, I comment underneath and I say, yeah, this ornithopter is one of Lego's best sets in a while. I need more of these. I have some, but I need more. I don't think I got any on our latest group order. Little ear thing that it doesn't say click. It just says listen for it. So I guess that's part of the 18 and plus is you don't need to say click anymore. Click. All right, so depending on how far we get in this, if I then finish this up on Thursday, I may not. I may just be like, hey, I got my Darth Malak figure. You guys know what R2 looks like. It's not a big deal. If I don't continue on Thursday, then what I might do is Thursday start doing the design for the Degrassi thing. I also might bring out like base plates and be like, here's some scenery I'm working on for, because I don't know the next set I'm gonna get. Maybe a space set, maybe some more. I think. Oh, there's a GWP coming up for Easter. It's that little egg Easter house, and it's with an $80 purchase, which is very reasonable. So I think for $80, I might get one of the MIDI scale Star Wars ships. And that'll be my purchase to get that GWP. And that'll be one fewer Star Wars ship that I can get. But that'll be, you know, that's next week plus shipping. So that probably won't be for like a week or so to do that. And in the interim, we'll do some designing and we'll do some digital work, maybe with that person's model. See how it goes. Oh, these are just on the... Okay. So what are y'all's plans for the upcoming week? Anything? Anything fun coming up? Oh, Texas people, especially in Austin. Travis County has declared a state of emergency for the eclipse day coming up. They have followed suit with several other counties and cities. I think only counties can do that. So I think it was Belton County or something a little farther north here that did it. They're expecting just enough of an influx of people that they're declaring a state of emergency. And I don't know what that means for, like, if school districts... I'm guessing school districts are going to close. I think I've heard already that some schools are going to be closed. I think it's hilarious because they're expecting an extra, like, 40% jump in population or visiting population on that day. Something like that. And I'm like, okay, meanwhile... ACL and South by Southwest, specifically South by Southwest, because that brings in a lot of people, not for just music, but for other things. We avoid downtown during South by. We didn't used to. Like, we used to specifically go downtown looking for stuff to do during South by. Even if you don't have a wristband, you can go find some free shit. Free shows, places where they're handing out beer if you sign up to be on their new phone thing. And it was a hoot, but now it's like you have to RSVP months in advance to free shows. And if not, everything costs. So it's kind of a bummer. And now it's like, I don't even want to go downtown. So the fact that there's an event where I don't need to go anywhere and I can just stay in my house and watch it. I took the day off and I was going to drive out west a little bit away from the city to catch a few, like where we're at here is like 2.5 minutes of totality, right? Which isn't a ton. What's up, Johnny? But a little farther west, like if I went out to, I think it's about an hour drive, you get about 4.5 minutes. So I thought, well, this would be pretty cool, like to stay out of the city, get a little more time, and just kind of chill, you know, spend the day. So we'll see if I actually do that or not. But that'll be fun. That's on a Monday. How's the home and garden show, Johnny? All right, just so you know, Johnny, I did get this built. This was Darth Malak, which came with this set, and this is him in a Sith fighter MOCrofighter. So I've had this design for years, but I got the parts. I found the parts last night, and I knew I was going to build the figure. So there's your MOCrofighter for a Sith fighter. Yay! There's more going on today and all week. Are you going to be on site all week, or just like today to like kind of watch your stuff and set up? See, I'd like to do more shows like that. I don't know why we don't have more. And I don't know if it's that people don't want to or if people just haven't looked into it, but I feel like anything that's held at a convention center here in Austin or a hotel somewhere, we should be able to be like, hey, would you guys like some Lego displayed here while you're doing your show? But we don't seem to either have those shows anymore or people don't. We used to do Maker Faire. And tear down. Mariana's Bricks. Hello, Walter. Boatard to anybody. Anyone talked about MOCrofighters? Yeah, did you see? Did you see? MOCrofighter. This is the figure that came with this set, Darth Malak, or Malak. I think he abandoned the Darth title when he went against Darth Revan. So, yeah. So we do talk about him. They are not far from our hearts, the MOCrofighters. I was just telling James earlier that I'm leaning towards bringing mine again to Brick Rodeo this year. I'm just worried that with all the setup that I'm going to be doing, I don't know that I'll have a whole lot of time to be a helpful co-chair. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really have a ton of responsibilities right now. I keep, you know, I was doing some social media, but that got taken away. And then I was going to do sponsorship, but I think with all the vendors we got, we don't really need sponsorship. So I may still reach out to a few places and be like, we've got this thing coming up. Would you like to be a sponsor? And just kind of leave it at that. And if not, can I drop some flyers off at your place of business? I think that's going to be my pitch. Man, I have a metric ton of these pieces. I thought these pieces were going to be the next big thing, kind of. And I've got so, like, I think it was a lug bulk. I can't remember. But I got a big order of them. And I hardly ever use them for anything. I don't know why. It just doesn't come up. Oh, there it is. I'm the MOCrofighter man. I really am. That's my whole gig. Make it the next big thing. So what I need to do is this coming September when we do Shiptember, I just need to get all the, and this is what I did one time a couple of years ago, is I built a Futron style ship, and I'll pull it up, see if I got a picture of it somewhere. I'm trying to think of where I would have put that. Did I save a photo of it from Shiptember? Nope. All right, let me look at my photos while I'm building. I built a giant Futron Vic Viper, but it was like the size of a table, and I basically found all the like white pieces in bulk that I hadn't used in years, and we're like, okay, I'm doing this. They're all gonna go on this one ship. Are you gonna open up a Bricklink store, Walter? You say stock like it's gonna be your store. Oh, just for your own stuff? Okay, well, that didn't click in really well. Okay. Cruising along. We got 4 bags done in an hour. It's pretty good. We might be able to get through this whole thing. Might could. Just have a file with what I've got. Oh, are you talking about like your MOCrofighter stuff? You're, oh, hello, Mayo. How's it going? Public holiday. What holiday is it? I know in Great Britain it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day for those who celebrate in Great Britain. Apparently there's a photo of, what's her name? William's wife, Kate. Post-surgery or post-something? I don't know. First photo since? I don't know. Got it. Filing what you got. Got it. Let's see. This was a while ago. Let's see if I can remember how far ago this was. I don't think it was after. It was a September, so it was before that. So let's go back to here. July of 2001. Was it before 2021? 2020. We were in this house, so let me go back to. Was it before we got Aggie? I'm going through a timeline of stuff to see if I still have a photo of this giant thing that I built. Was it before the snowstorm? Was it before we got married? Huh, I may have gotten rid of... Oh, here we go. Okay. So, this was my Shiptember Vic Viper. To give you scale, this was the cockpit, was the... those big quarter panels of... From, like, a monorail set and stuff. And these are these big 6x8, really gradual, like 6-degree slope pieces. This thing was ridiculously big. I tried to keep it Vic Vipery, so it's got the wings and it's got the pontoons in the front. This thing was stupid big and was not real steady, but it held together and I think it looked pretty cool. But yeah, that's about how big it was. This was made this was made for Shiptember in 2020. So during the lockdown, I started doing this. I don't think I have any pre-building pictures. I think I got rid of those. So yeah. I like doing Shiptembers sometimes if I can get enough pieces or time. I don't know if I'm going to do one this time. I always threaten to, but seeing as how, or I'm going to try to do the Bricks and Beer event at Austin Beer Works in September. I don't think I'm going to have time. Provided that still goes through. Bricks and Brews, maybe? I don't know what to call it. I guess we'll have to work with them. It's their space. Bricks and Brews sounds pretty good. So yeah, these pieces are great too. I don't use these a ton. There's sort of a mid-level building block brick size of piece that I don't use a ton of because I'm so Lego my beer. Well, that's a good question. The space is a brewery, so it's not like we're both coming into the space bringing our stuff so that half of it is bricks, half of it's Lego, half of it is craft brewing. We are going to be at a brewery. So brews and bricks to start. Have them be listed first. They have a whole PR company that a friend of mine works for, that I'm sure they could come up with something, some literature, stuff for promotion. Get on their calendar. In fact, I should probably email them and say, hey, is this something we want to get on y'all's calendar for the year? Make sure that everybody knows it's coming up. And all we have to do, as far as I'm concerned, is bring mocks to show. We don't have to do workshops. We don't have to do talks. I just want us to be able to like show up and bring a lot of great models for people to look at. And if we want to have people stay on site with their models, they can. I would encourage them to do so. But I think if it's a weekend event, maybe one day. But I would almost like it if we could have a couple days, like Saturday and Sunday. And I don't want it to be like kid friendly, but at the same time, it's going to be kid friendly. The space itself is kind of family friendly. Am I missing anything? It's got like a big outdoor area behind it, and there's always folks showing up with their kids. So it can't be helped. But I also don't want to spend a lot of time doing worrying about stanchions and things to keep the little grabby abbies from like pulling down all the mocks, which would require us to be there the whole time. Also, if we left it all there, you know, what kind of security do they have? That kind of thing. So stuff to worry about. So for multi-day events like that, when you did the mall, was the mall a single day event or a multi-day event? And if you did it in the mall, were people like breaking down and setting up every day, or was there enough security at the mall that you could leave it? Because I don't imagine everybody in our group's going to be really happy with leaving stuff places unless there's a way to make sure that it's all locked in. Oh, stickers. Did I not get stickers? Here's an interesting thing. I don't think I got stickers. There's only one sticker, I think. No, there's several, but they're not in here. Usually, okay, so usually you get a bag or a box, an envelope, that has the instructions and the sticker book in it. I just realized there's no stickers. There's nothing in the cape bag. It didn't come out with one of the bags. It's not still in the box. Huh. All right. Well, I get to contact Lego support and say, what up, yo? I didn't get any stickers. Not like it's a ton of stuff. I think there were like 5 stickers. Yeah, there was no sleeve. The instructions came like this. This is how, like, I dumped it out and the instructions were loose. So bad packaging. Oh no, wait. Look at that. They're in the first page. You're right. I would have not have looked there. So here's the question. Do I put these stickers on? Because this will probably be displayed for a little bit. So I'm thinking I probably will. I'm not using this for parts. Yeah, that's where I would put them if I were storing stickers, right? I would put them in the first or second page here. But that's not where I thought Lego would put them. That's crazy. James, I got my solution for the blandness of the side of this thing. I'm gonna go back through some of my sticker books and see if there's any stickers I can put on there. Oh, whoops. Oh man, I need my X-Acto knife, and I don't know where my X-Acto knife is. And I just ruined this sticker. I was looking for my knife earlier because I thought this would be a set that I had to cut the tags off of in the back. And now I needed it to like pry up a corner of the sticker so I didn't jam my ugly ass fingernail in there. Sounds good. What did I just say? Oh yeah, stickers on that. Because I do have like instructions full of stickers I'm never going to use. This is very lol sphere kind of setup where it's like it has things overlapping in the corner right there. Kind of cool. I'm gonna I'm going to recommend my friend Justin Brady Joyner. His channel is doing instructional videos, and he's done 3 videos so far in lol spheres. So if you're interested in learning how to do lol spheres, half spheres, caps, elongated like cylindrical things with stuff on it, he's done a bunch of how-tos. So check out Brady Joyner Bricks on YouTube. That's one thing I don't have any knowledge of, so I was very happy to go through it and watch and build along. It's very instructional. And if you have any ideas for what he can do additionally for tutorials, make sure to leave a comment for him. Oh, I needed a ton of these for Horizon stuff. Ugh. I went through and ripped a bunch of parts off of the N1 Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, and then ended up not needing them. So I've got like a half-done N1 Starfighter over on a shelf, which makes it look more like the show. It's all like taken apart. So yeah, I want to make sure we get enough people involved in the event. I kind of want to make this a nice event for us and for them. I need to go by the space and look at what they've got and kind of plan around that, because I don't think it's going to be a huge space, and I think the misconception of how much space is needed and how much they think is good, like, oh, this is plenty of space for a Lego thing, and I look at it and go, this is like, I could fill this space by myself. I think there's going to be a difference in perception. So make sure to lock that down. Any ideas about what is needed before we make any plans? Let's talk about... Hey, they just put a whole piece on here without... we went and saw Dune last night, or yesterday morning, and it was quite good. I'm going to spoil you and say he's not the actual Kwisatz Haderach. Everybody thinks he is, but he's not. But I'm going to spoil a book. I'm going to spoil a story that's... Oh, hey! Is that why they released the train? It's Mario Day. You're right. Happy March 10th for those that celebrate. Yeah, James showed me, or oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Told everybody in the chat about, turned me on to, that's what I was looking for. Turned me on to the fact that they've got that big Mario train out. I assume, Johnny, that's something you're going to get. You're the big Mario or the big video game person. Forced you to look at. Held at gunpoint until I peeped. Man, I haven't seen one of these pieces in a while. The old school ladders. Should bring more of those back for Greebling. Hello, Kodiak. How are you? If anybody hasn't, please go check out Kodiak's channel. Oh, did you put that cursed image on your channel at all? Or did you just send a video from in our group? Because that thing is cursed. He does have a new video up too where somebody beats the crap out of him for asking him to. And that's a real yes, yes, no thing for me. I had to look that up about the designer of the sound, of the oof sound, something like that. I'm like, what? It's like I vaguely remember seeing something about that. But that's very funny. Some good animation. I bet that took you a while. Yeah, so happy Mario Day. March 10th. We got 4 days until Pi Day. Make sure to get in your Pi orders now. And at, I think it's at like 1:59 p.m. or something, because it's 3.141596 something. After that, I forget. Oh, missed a whole step up here. The creator is H Bomber Guy, and that video is fun to work on, but you're right, it did take a while. So there's a whole thing behind the oof sound, right? I'm not making that up. There's another video that I watched about that. And I don't think it really explained it a whole lot. Like, I think I needed to know more about that world than I think I do. Neat effect to give it that sort of kind of encased little bit of greebling there. So March 14th at 1:59 p.m. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Is the short version of that story. Yeah, I love me some like old stories of old video games. That's some really cool stuff. If you guys haven't and you get a chance to, I don't know how, if you don't have Apple TV, I don't know how you're going to be able to do it. Maybe you can buy it on Prime or something later. But you need to watch the Tetris movie with oh, I can never remember the dude's name. Taron Egerton. Like, it's wild. Like, it's a fictional recreation of actual events. So it's a little, some of it's a little like, yeah, that's probably not as action-packed as that was meant to be, or as dramatic. But the fact that it happened at all is really wild. We watched it and Beth was like, I thought it was just going to be a lighthearted romp about how the video game was created. I didn't realize we were going into like a spy thriller. Like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Weirdest video game story, I think, of all time. Let's see. Shogun's pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it. It took me a second to realize that they were all speaking Portuguese and not English. And I should have realized that because right at the beginning, they're like, oh, you speak Portuguese, and they're speaking English. I'm like, oh, they're just kind of lampshading that for us. I got it. But it's good so far. The lady who is in it, who plays Mariko, who is the lady who plays Kate in Monarch, I didn't like her in Monarch at all. Like her and the young kids in Monarch, I was like, please don't focus on them at all anymore. I just want to fast forward through it. They're terrible. She's actually pretty good, but as I was telling she's good in Shogun so far. But I was telling a friend of mine, I'm like, she's speaking Japanese though. Like and she's being very stoic. I'm like, she may be sucking terribly at this. But because she's speaking Japanese and being very stoic and withdrawn, I think that it's good. Maybe. It's like British people speaking. You're like, they're so smart. No, they're not. Anyway, Dune was very good. I can't wait for it to be released on video / streaming / Blu-ray, where then I can go and do a marathon of all. It's probably gonna be like 5 hours, 5.5 hours, once it's out, and I will happily watch it again. It's real good. And full marks to Beth, who sat through the whole thing without falling asleep. She did real good. Very proud of her. A couple extra tiles. 6. I'm going to put this guy up here. Yeah, see this bit isn't held on real great. These little grill tiles don't have a whole lot of clutch on them, so. And I'll form the head. Does anybody know the phrasing for when they form Voltron? I realized that when I was a kid, I knew it. I know dinotherms are connected. Mega thrusters are go. Interlock something. I'm gonna have to look it up. Does anybody remember that offhand without looking it up? I wonder if they released that train specifically because it was Mario Day. They had to have, right? Totally forgot that was today. I thought I was good. I thought I was doing well to know that today was British Mother's Day. This feels like I'm building a giant brick heads with all these like snot bricks all the way around. Solid box. Good box. Yeah, we're getting to the point in the mock building. I know it's only March, but it's going to sneak up on me if I don't like focus on it, where the idea of travel, the idea of being able to pack these up is going to come into play. So I need to make sure that everything is starting to be boxed and will sit in that box comfortably for a little bit. I'm going to need several trips to the hotel, I think, in general, because I've got all that play brick, or the 2x4 blue brick. I've got all my mocks. I might need a couple trips just for the mocks. What I might do is see if I can enlist Beth's help to like drive both of our cars over there one day, just full of stuff, so I can minimize having to go back and forth. Because I'm also not staying on site. Printed disc. It's pretty cool. I think that would work as a canopy. Like if you had another thing on top of this, right? It could be like the front of a canopy or something. Like a Millennium Falcon type canopy. What's up, Missy? Good morning. Happy first day of, I guess. Is this not? This is not the first day of spring, but it's well, it's Mario Day, but also daylight savings time. So I hope you got your clock set properly. Everybody's phones should automatically, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Like good automatons. The irony that we don't have to think about it. How are you today? How's your Sunday going? Hope it's going well. We are going pretty fast through these. I might actually get quite a ways through this. Oh, that's unfortunate. Are they sick? Or are they just being a dog? I know ours every couple weeks will decide that tonight's the night I'm going to vomit on their pillow. Oh man, no, come on. And I was actually in a bit of a rush this morning because I woke up relatively late for me. It was like 8:30. I was like, oh crap, I have to get up, feed the dogs, make breakfast, or go get breakfast, get some coffee, set up the stream. So I felt like I was rushing, like the one day the dogs don't go, get up! She does this most nights, keeps you up. It's like having a child. There are a lot of parts I needed in here for some of my Horizon builds. Some of these dark blues specifically. Oddly enough, like I don't remember there being a lot of dark blue in some of those, but I guess I did that. Oh, is she a big dog or a little dog? Yeah, 14's kind of getting up there, I think, for any size dog, but specifically old dog or big dogs. We had our last mid to large dog made it to about 13. She was never like a keep us up all night kind of thing, but she was having issues toward the end. She would wake us up regurgitating, but that was because of her condition. Let's see how this lines up with the other one. So it does go all the way. Can't tell where they want this to line up. I think there. Okay. What's up, Cliff? How goes, my man? We're building an R2. Oh, Beagle Border Collie? Wow, that's got to be the most adorable, loving, high-maintenance dog. Like, Border Collies are, if you don't live out in the country and have sheep, Border Collies are a menace. But they're super smart. And then Beagles are really sweet, but they're, I mean, you know all this. I'm not saying anything new, but I feel like Beagles are very protective, sweet, but also a little high maintenance, and very, very communicative, meaning they're loud. I love baby Beagles though with their little aroo. They're pretty sweet. Yes, Cliff, I have one. I have the most recent old one sitting over there. I'll do a size comparison with this and the old one when complete. What's up, Mayo? You're back. I thought you were going to bed. I don't know if I like this one or not. It looks good. It's nice and smooth around the body. The old one I liked too, though. This one is going to be it's going to be about half the size. And also it's, the functionality is not, this thing is hidden inside here. It's take this part off and put this part on so you can see what, you know, what the functionality looks like with its arms and its head. So, which is a little kind of, Also, there's no third leg automatically inside the body, which tips out, falls out when you tip it over. That seemed like a really neat thing. So, I mean, that's a loss of functionality too. But it is half the size. I kind of went a little roundabout in some of these steps, but this is the second time they've built this. They like this combination. This is very much kind of building a Lowell sphere, right? So you've got studs on the side. You kind of build it in this like staggered bit up top, and then you kind of attach the sides, building that staggered way, kind of going up again. So if you're familiar with the technique, it's very similar. Oh, that's so sweet. Pet me for 2 hours, yeah. Sweet baby girl. Ours sleeps. Ours isn't like as attention demanding, but she's a bit territorial. She's only like that big, and she sleeps right here on my head at night. Which is great because sometimes I sleep on my side like this, and her little head's right here, and I can just hear her breathing. It's really cute, and I love it. But it's when she stands up to get comfortable, and she's like walking all over our heads, standing on Beth's hair. She's like, I don't think so. Get off me, dog. You're cute and I love you, but you're standing on my head. Probably pull the mic a little closer. Didn't realize the mic was way over there. Ah. Luckily, we don't have snoring dogs. We have pretty good. They're pretty quiet, but I've noticed the last couple weeks we have a day bed in my office, which is great because every once in a while I get sleepy during the day, and I'll just pop over and take a 10-minute power nap, which is delightful and one of the reasons I love working from home. But the dogs will sleep on it for the most part. And just both of them sitting over there cuddled up, spending hours and hours sleeping. And it does get quiet in there. I don't have a fan or anything, so it's very quiet. And when I don't have music playing or I got YouTube videos playing or something, they I can hear the big one fart herself awake, which I think is the most hilarious thing ever. Because sometimes it'll be just a little, and I'm like, and I look over, I'm like, really? But then sometimes it's kind of like a, and I can see her go, like, yeah, that was you, big girl. You done farted yourself awake. One time, I was on the couch, I was playing video games, and she farted herself awake and started barking. She farted and woke up and went bark, bark, bark. And I don't want to actually make any sounds because they will hear me and think that I'm actually barking. So she barks herself awake, makes one little bark, then the little one hears it, and she starts barking, and then it's a feedback loop with them. It's, you know, Carl, stop it. You're going to start a howl. If you know, you know. And then they start feedback barking on each other, and I'm like, what? Stop it. Nerds. Both a bunch of nerds. Okay, set that aside. It's the same thing of this, like, they don't know where their tail is, or that their tail belongs to them, or they're chewing on their own foot. It's like, you guys are real special. Like, I love dogs, sometimes more than I love people. But man, you guys are... I don't know how you got domesticated. You're a bunch of idiots. See a collection of wolves off on the side going, yeah, we never farted ourselves awake. Pretty convoluted steps in here. So yeah, if you can swing it, I would highly recommend seeing Dune. I feel like it's the return to sort of the good blockbustery, like, think of days of like, oh, what was a really good blockbuster? Like Iron Man, what was a good blockbuster. Batman 1989 was pretty good. Like Jurassic Park, that kind of event viewing versus just like, oh, it's another superhero movie. I think it's also pretty funny how many people compare Dune to Star Wars. They're like, man, it's a lot of stuff that Star Wars did. And you're like, do you know why it reminds you of Star Wars so much? Because George Lucas really liked Dune. Leaving a little bit open there. Coming along swimmingly. How does that go in? Okay. Preemptive ballasting, I guess. Cliff, if you're still here, do you have this one? Are you going to get this one? Wow, they really, really like this build. This is the third time this little thing has been done. And put this on until you hear it click. I mean, I didn't hear it click, but it's on there. All right. We are on to... Do you have the old one? Do you have any of the old ones? There's two. The old ones are roughly the same size, the old ones. The newer of the old one has some smoother pieces on it, but is virtually the same thing. This one is a lot smaller. So I'm gonna try something. I wonder if these legs are similar enough where I could mirror build them. Oh, they've got different bags for the different things. All right, we'll just go with this. Thought I could save some time by like building them mirrored, but I don't think the bags line up the same way. So I'll just crank through, see how well we can do this. You got the old one? Okay. I'm tempted to run long and just finish this today because we're going pretty good. We only got like 3 bags left. Hopefully these last couple don't take too long. Had I not been jibber-jabbering at the beginning of the video, we might be farther along. But I gots to talk. Might spend the day going to see my oldest who had some surgery. They are recovering. And then maybe hang out with the ladies and get some... There's a new Mexican market in our area that apparently is amazing, and they've got some really good food. So we'll go get some tamales or something. For lunch. And then tonight, the U.S. women's national team is facing off against Brazil in the CONCACAF Gold Medal League or something like that. So I think this determines who goes to the Olympics, but I'm not sure. I think that's the European League that's doing this determines who goes to the Olympics. Okay. This freaks me out when I can't automatically see something that I think is an easy piece to find. It's not here, man. Ne pas ici. Which means I need to check the bag. What bag was this? All right, cool. Well, that is a piece that I don't have a replacement. Oh, there it is. God, why didn't I not see that? I don't have a lot of these white curved slopes anymore. I used a lot of them for mock building, and I need to order some. I think if I tried to mirror build this, I'd probably just end up confusing myself more than necessary, so probably best just to work through it one at a time. Although I think it could be done. I think if we were doing a speed build, that might... I'm not looking to break any records or anything, but... Ooh, dark blue grill plates. Don't have too many of those. I think part of the speed of speed building is also recognizing like what bag certain pieces will come in. Like if you know certain size plates are in one bag, then certain other size plates will be in another bag. And it's not just big and small. Sometimes they put small pieces in the big bags. You just have to recognize that it's almost like when they're designing it to be built, they kind of bounce back and forth. So like you'll get a piece from here, you'll get a piece from here. So you're not spending your whole time just like nulling through the whole thing. When did those pieces get put on? Oh, back then. Also, I don't know if I would argue that digital instructions are faster than actual instructions. Is there a thing that says you can't do... Johnny, when you were doing this, the Falcon, was there an option to do digital instructions, or did you have to use the instructions from the book? I don't know if it's necessarily easier. Plus, I have a setup here that I'm comfortable with that I can easily scroll through. But I think if you're like, well, this isn't my laptop, this isn't set up the way I usually build, it's probably a little different. Okay, cool. I've always liked this symmetry with these two pieces. That makes me happy. You can't see the curve in there. It's pretty washed out, but Yeah, who needs time lapse when you can build fast, right? We're cruising. We're getting through it. Minus all the times I have to go through and go, did I actually already build that? Why is that not like that? So for this new round of Star Wars sets, there are 5. We've got the 3 MIDI ships, the R2, and then we've got the Tantive 4 hallway. I think I will probably, and I got this one for the Malak figure. I will get the other 2, or the other 3 MIDI scale ships, and then I don't think I'm going to get the hallway. I don't know why. I just don't. Maybe I'll get talked into it. It's fine. It just seems like a way to have minifigs, and I'm not a huge. I've got plenty of Star Wars minifigs already. I don't need more, especially like more Darth Vaders and more Rebel soldiers and whoever else is in it. Is there a Captain Antilles? You prefer just to use the real book? Is that in general you like the real book more? I like it because it's a space thing. It gives me more space to work when I'm doing this. But I can understand the desire to do that. Yeah, I totally could have done this. Mirrored. Hallway people been buying a few and combining them to make a big scene like Mos Eisley. Oh! That's actually a pretty good idea. You're not army building, you're like scene building. You get a couple of those and you can make a whole Tantive 4 interior. With like R2 and 3PO fleeing, you can kind of build an in-between area for like when R2 and Leia are clandestinely sharing the plans. It's actually not a bad idea. All right, I don't entirely like this, the way this is, because it separates a little bit. And it doesn't line up really good up top there. It's kind of not great. That's pretty cool. Are they relatively inexpensive? How much are the hallway ones? It's a pretty good effect right there with that little bar. And these should all be extra. Yep. That bag took like 10 minutes. I feel like there are not a lot of pieces in each one of these bags. I suppose that'd be the same as like if they were a little less expensive, you could buy more of the trench run diorama and build a longer trench with more TIE fighters and X-Wings in them. That'd be pretty fun. Throw some Y-Wings in there, throw some more greebling and turret things and turbo guns, turbo lasers. We count 30 ships load Veda, but they're The ship's so small, they're evading our turbo lasers. We'll have to destroy them ship to ship. Oh, that is kind of high. What's the piece count on it? It would make sense if the piece count was roughly, before you tell me, I'm guessing it's 400 pieces for 55 bucks. 400 pieces and like 5 minifigs, right? If there's a way to get more rebel soldiers and stormtroopers, I probably still wouldn't do it, but it would make sense to be able to kind of like pad that out to make a bigger scene. Oh, well, the price to piece count is not bad. 50 bucks, 500 pieces. That's not terrible. For a Star Wars thing, that's actually downright reasonable. I almost didn't say downright. I felt like I was going to start swearing. I don't know why. Don't say downright. That's... Don't curse on your stream. Foot. Oh, so many sub builds. Do we just lay it there? I think, yeah, they're just like, just lay it there for a second. Huh, all right. This is what I wanted right at the end of the build process, is a bunch of Technic. I was hoping this would go fast, but... Oh, whoops. A lot faster if I could read instructions. So this is built loose. That just hangs in there because it's gotta hang a little bit and fall out a little because it's that foot piece. Choo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, so today is Mario Day. Does anybody do anything special for Mario Day? Is anyone doing anything special for... I don't have any Brits in the chat, I don't think. Brett's builds was in here earlier, but I don't think he's here anymore. So nothing for British for the Mother's Day in the UK, but we got Pi Day coming up. Does anybody usually celebrate Pi Day? Do you go out and get a pie somewhere? And if so, do you like special order it, or you just go to like a bakery and just say, I'll just have a pie, please? I will say that there used to be a place down in Austin here, down near campus, but on campus. It was called The Drag on Guadalupe. That there's a place called Royer's Pies, And they were a little expensive, but they had a trash pie that was, you know, caramel and chocolate and pretzels and marshmallows and all kinds of stuff. And it was so good. And so I would go down and get that for Pie Day. Yes, it does. James, you shush. We also celebrate Tau Day. No, we don't. Put these whips in here. Doesn't matter which one goes where. I think I'm going to cross them over a little bit. I don't buy a towel, but I keep a towel with me. Certainly do. Not a proper nerd unless you don't. Talk like a pirate day. I talk like a pirate. Most of the time. Sometimes I forget. One of these days I really want to commit to that and just do nothing but talk like a pirate. Like go to the bank, customer service calls. Did I miss? I've got 2 of these and I don't think I should. Okay, so in this bag, oh, yep, it was in there. Can I get to that? Really didn't seem to affect the build at all, but all right. That all makes sense. Rape and pillage on that day. Is there rape and pillage day? All right, bag 10. I think I'm gonna go over. It's after 12, but I only have 3 bags left, and they're going pretty quick. So it's one more leg. I don't want to leave y'all hanging with a legless. Oh, Pirate Day, yeah. It's not Pirate Day. It's Talk Like a Pirate Day. If it were Pirate Day, yes. But it is not Pirate Day. It is Talk Like a Pirate Day. On Pi Day at 1:59 p.m., I will solve an equation. How about that? I will do some geometry. What do you do on Skater Die Day? Is there a Skater Die Day? I used to do a drawing on our teams. Oh, look at that. That is different. These are different colors. I used to do drawings on our whiteboard near my desk for every day of the week. Today is, or if I could find one, today is whatever holiday, weird holiday. Didn't run across a skate or die day. Would playing Tony Hawk count as skating? Pro skater? Which is funny that I would even mention that because I don't think I've ever played that game. I know it's a classic. I know it had a great soundtrack. Arbor Day, go plant a tree. Excuse me, can I plant a tree? Like, I can't plant a tree in my yard. Because I'd have to get clearance from my landlord. We'd have to get clearance from the HOA. I think. All right, where's the other rolly bit? There's one. Thought I just saw it. Did it roll under here? Did it roll over here? Rolly bits. So from what I'm hearing, James, is you're down on Pi Day because we don't celebrate it by eating pie because that's not what you do. It could be seen as the secular Pi Day, much like Christmas. Some people don't celebrate the birth of their Lord. The birth of somebody else's Lord, but they like going shopping and they like drinking eggnog, which has nothing to do with that. Come on. There's a day for everything and everything in a day. Someone who should pass a law requiring all software which has 2 and 3D animation or manipulation to have the same key commands. Yeah, sort of a normalized Photoshop what's that called? Standard? Going from Illustrator to Blender to slicing software. Yes, it is. I was working with, I don't even remember, a PDF manipulating. It was a Foxit, which is basically like Acrobat. But we get a license for it at work. So I was trying to go through some architecture plans and we were placing, exactly where, because we're rewiring our building. There's construction on the building. So we're setting up new wiring for everything. All the low voltage electronics, Wi-Fi cameras, things like that, but also where all the network drops go. And we have a map that illustrates where it all goes. And the the way that I'm used to doing stuff is either it like Illustrator, where you can have an object and you can put that object in the space and it lives by itself, or like in Photoshop, you can have a layer where you can have a bunch of different things that you can hide. So it felt like, but a PDF is like a comment section, and in that comment you make a shape, and then you can like show all the comments, but you can't have all the comments like in a single layer. And in order to do layer manipulation, you need a a pro license, which we had, but it just wasn't working. So I had to go through and erase like, I don't know, several hundred comments so I could create them as objects, so I could specifically put them where they needed to go. And I was like, this is garbage. But the whole time my brain was going Photoshop commands, which I use GIMP, and GIMP is roughly the same as Photoshop. The keystrokes are fairly similar. But like every time I'm like, all right, do this. I was like, dang it. And some of their keystrokes would open up different menus. And I'm like, wait, what did I do? You know? So yeah, I totally agree. And some of them don't even make sense. Like why would you not have this keystroke do this thing? It's in the title of the, like, it's the keystroke. Like text is T and move is M, and you know, why you would have anything else is absurd. Yeah. Yeah. Yup. Oh wait, is this, did I do that upside down? There we go. Yeah, this is a great idea to get these two shapes to kind of come together, but there's going to be like, it wiggles a little bit. You see a little bit of a gap. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it works. Is probably the way I'd do it. I might actually try to figure out how to do an arch, because we do have those arch pieces now that could go across that whole thing. So I would have tried to do that, but I'm not a Lego designer. I know, shocking. What are you working on? Photo manip wise? Something for our group, Brick Rodeo? Something for work? Something for fun? Oh. Didn't see that get put on there. And the legs are independent. I think previous, I'll have to check, that the legs were not independent. So I'll have to double check that at the end here when we do a comparison. And we will do a comparison. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I know we're running along, but I don't want to leave it with like 1 foot to go here. I think that would be callous of me. But we're going pretty quick. Putting custom badges on the new van. Rip the Kia logos off of it. Nice. Oh, did you get a new car? I would love to get a new car, but I don't think we can afford it right now. New van. Cool. Gotta feel kind of good. Get a new car. Yeah, Beth got one a few years ago. I would love to get one myself because my car is 12 years old, 10 years old. And it's like the glue under the ceiling thing is starting to come away, and things are rattling, and it's just time. So you got the nice big truck now and the van. You guys are all set for the move of Lego stuff. Plus, the kids are getting to that age where they're going to need to be moved around to school things, and well, that's done. See, these are additional things that they attach here. So you can either put like a tile here to close it all up, or you can take it off and put these things on here to be like, look, he's opening up his little hatches for stuff, which is kind of, I don't know. Oh man, I cannot do that. It's a nice truck. I was thinking about getting a truck, but I want to kind of look at EVs too, but all the EVs are so out of my price range, and like the technology is not standardized, and I don't know. I'd have to rewire my house for some of it, right? So I don't know. Missed a couple. These two things go here. I was actually looking at the Rivian, the truck. But what I probably is in my price range is that Hyundai Ioniq 5 or whatever. I think that's more in my price range. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm was kind of hoping the technology would be a little better right now, but I think the saving grace for my car is that I don't drive it but like once or twice a week. I drive it once to the office on Monday, and then maybe during the week to go to the grocery store when Beth's not home. But more often than not, it's just me going to the office. Because when she gets home, we both go places together, so there's no reason for us to take my car because it's garbage versus her 3-year-old car. Plus, I feel once you get an electric vehicle, that becomes kind of your way of life. Like you're doing all this stuff for the sake of your vehicle. Like you're spending a lot of time and money on it, and I would rather continue to do Lego. Like every time I feel like I'm drifting into a new hobby or a new something, like, all right, how is this going to affect my mock time, my budget for buying new sets, my ability to go to meetings and events? And if I feel like it impinges too much, then I'm like, I guess that's not my new hobby, you know? Like I could easily get into like more bike rides and workouts and things, or more soccer events, but at the same time I really like doing this. So, or gaming, like spending money on getting a new rig for being able to, you know, get games off Steam and play those. But I realize I drift into different hobbies a little bit, and I don't want to spread myself too thin for that. I already feel like I'm spreading myself too thin for It's getting warm in here. I'm gonna take this off. For Lego as it is with like buying and mocking and stuff. So what I'd ideally like to do is get more involved in like the Lego community, be able to go places, to conventions, and meet more people and be more knowledgeable about stuff. I love playing video games though. I really do, but I know that that is a hobby that would just, like this, I can do this for a couple hours and be like, all right, I'm done. I can go do chores. I can hang out with my family. I can watch a movie. Beth and I can go to lunch, something like that. Versus video games where it's like, I start playing a game and I look up and I'm like, oh crap, 7 hours have gone by. I guess this day's over, and I feel like you accomplished 0. To those who are still lurking, I appreciate you leaving my voice on in your background. It's always nice to be able to chat with people. So if you're here, come say hello. I'm a little upset at my Blue Sky followers who are always like, yeah, do this next on your stream. And then I don't see them on my stream. Get on here, people. That's what I'm saying. Voting and then not participating. Psh. You're editing. Nice. Oh, and the eating food. No, that's fine, Cliff. That's what I'm saying. I do appreciate like people just kind of turning it on and then going and doing their own thing. That's actually kind of cool because you're doing your own thing. I think that's super important. Everybody should have a thing that they're doing. Sorting, building, editing, making stickers for your car, you know, that kind of stuff. Finishing my order for that, which will not be named, but it is due. Ooh, mysterious. Mysterious build is mysterious. Yeah, I feel you. Stop building. I get kind of... if I don't stop building after a couple hours, I can tell when I get a little tweaked by what I'm working on. I feel frustrated that something's not working. I'm like, all right, well, this is a good stopping point. Like, I don't want to break my brain. But for whatever reason, video games put you in that delta state where you're basically asleep and you just like, and then suddenly, yeah, you're hungry and you've got a headache because you haven't been drinking water. You've just been staring at a screen for 6 hours. I mean, even at work, I kind of lose focus after a while, and I'm like, it's been 2 or 3 hours, and I haven't gotten up and gone outside, and I was like, all right, I need a break. I'll be back in a second. You know, give your eyes 15 minutes to go do something else. I had to make an executive decision about something. This piece reminded me of something. I want to show you guys this. I realize I'm going way over, but we only got one bag left, so I'm going to show you. Had to make an executive decision about a piece. Not round. I can spell. Don't worry about it. This was the most egregious part replacement I had to do with the hollow stud. So in this model, it's not in here. We'll do I was really looking forward to making this because I worked really hard on this one to make it look like the thing. Don't know if it'll work. There's a lot of maybe friction builds or whatever. But these pieces right here, because I want to show you what the actual one looks like. Long leg. So this beastie has these giant, that's not really good. There we go. This beastie has these orange things right here. And these are very important to the creature because it has this sonic blast. It fills this thing up, this kind of breast sac, or yeah. And then it compresses the air and shoots it out. So it's a big sonic attack. So it was very important to have these here. And these were like orange, right? So there's a lot of orange pieces on here. So I went and there's a lot of yellow and orange pieces on here, right? So I think I did a pretty good job. I couldn't get 3 on here, but it gives it the indication of it. And then these whips will attach down here. So I think it looks relatively cool, right? It's not 2, but it's enough. I think it looks fine. So I was like, all right, these need to be orange. So as I was parting everything out, I was like, all right, these need to be orange. Let's all known colors. Orange. More options. US. I think I needed 6 because they were in another set too. Oh, well now this is new. They're $1 each. They were $7 each. So now I don't know. Maybe I can go back and get those for $1 each. But I mean, so if I needed 6 of them, that's $6 for 1x1 pieces. I'm like, I don't think so. What about I already have pearl gold. How much are those? A penny. I'm like, okay, well that's an easy fix. It's an easy decision. So yeah, that was a super easy decision. But that part reminded me of that. Oh, I don't mind it having one. The pearl gold was fine. It served the same purpose. Is the point. Like, I went through and made some changes because I was like, do I really need this in this color? This is a color that only I'm going to see. And nobody's going to really care. And from 5 feet away, is it going to matter that I spent $3 or, 5 cents? It doesn't. So I changed a bunch of like oranges to pearl gold and yellows to pearl gold. Sometimes yellow isn't a very common color. So yeah, I'm going through and slowly like replacing it. But still, there are pieces that are kind of integral to the model, like the structure, where I'm like, well, I can't cut a corner on that. And maybe it only comes in one piece or one color. So, but it's coming down. Like, I think I've got these down to pretty reasonable costs and whatnot. It's just a matter of now getting them. And it's still 600 pieces. Yeah, I've got some trans orange versions of that. That's not expensive. Either of them will work, but I already have the pearl gold, which is it. The point is now I don't have to order it. I've already got that piece. So is it a matter of, do I order more or do I just use what I've got? And using what I've got is better. Always, always, always better. This is very pleasing, these whips as the cables. I like it a lot. Very nice. And ta-da! There we go. I think this last bag is going to be the middle foot. So we'll get that done real quick. And then I think some of the stand stuff. Yeah. Well, this is a record. 12 bags in about 2.5 hours. These bags had almost no pieces in them either. These bags came with maybe 50 pieces per bag. It was kind of ridiculous. So yeah, these are all the things you can attach if you want to attach his little rangefinder scanner and his little manipulation arms and stuff. His what is this called? What is that interface called? Echo's got one on his hand. Astromech droids all have one. It's not a slice. You slice the computer by accessing it. It's not a sprue. That's what model pieces come off of. It's going to bother me if I don't figure it out. I know I've heard the word. I know the thing I hate about most about memory is knowing that you've forgotten something. Like knowing you knew the word and then just not being able to recall it. Scomp. Scomp. It's a scomp. Scomp access or something like that. That's that little thing that looks like a screwdriver, like a 3D. It looks like a cone on a bar, actually. It looks almost exactly like that. That's a scomp. Don't know why I know that. Other than I'm a big Star Wars nerd. There's a lot going on here. Dark blue Technic brick. Look at that. That's, I feel like that's almost over. It's like for what it's being used for here is like not enough to warrant it being in here. More of these half moon tiles like that. I like that a lot. I haven't used those a whole lot in a lot of designs yet because they haven't been super popular, but I'm looking forward to being able to use those more. Yeah, completely hidden. It's going to be completely hidden. So I feel bad for that piece. Don't get your day in the sun, dude. But wait, there's more. There's a third leg to go on here. Reminder that Dune 2 is out, and it is a very good movie. I would recommend seeing that, especially if you've seen Dune 1. Like, if you've seen one and don't plan on seeing the other one, that just seems weird. I don't know that I want to be friends with you after that. That's not perfectly lined up. The book says it's perfectly lined up, but it is not. I missed something. Oh, this goes on that. Okay. It's like, what? Okay. Oh, that's a look. I like that. So it's these Technic joiners, Technic connectors with a tile with a pip on it. It's a pretty good look. It's a very good tube if you're looking for like external tubes. It's a good greebling look. All right, well, this goes. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. So there's him with his extra leg out. Now, you can cover these. You can either put these bits on here or you can just put these tiles on. Now with the tiles on, that little front chest area sticks out a little bit. Like I would have liked some of those cheese wedge pieces. And so I think an additional plate with cheese wedges, if you just want that finished out, would be better. Would make it look better. But I get it. You want to fill this in with something while these aren't on it. So there's that. And now the sign, and then he's all done. So we got this big old bit here. And as soon as we're done here, I will show you the comparison with the old one so you can get an idea of just how small this dude is by comparison. To give you an indication, I finished this in one sitting in 2 hours, 35 minutes. And it was how many pieces? 1,050 pieces. So it's a pretty fast build. Wouldn't expect everybody to be that fast about it, but it's pretty fast. And another printed tile for this, which is nice. There you go. So this will sit up on the shelf with R2 here. I don't know what this extra piece is for. I think if you were just doing a display with R2 and the figure, maybe. Because the figure will stand up here too. So I don't know what this is for, really. Because, I mean, at the very beginning, you built... Well, no. Where's the figure? It just had you have this piece in front of it. Like, I don't know what that's for. Anyway, so that's done. Got extra pieces here. Let's go get the other one. Compare. Probably need to dust this one off anyway. But you can see, I think this is the same R2, but it's a different panels. This one is a sticker, so this is the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. This is actually a printed panel. This one's a sticker. R2's, this one has a back print, so that's cool, right? But virtually the same for that. The size of the R2s themselves, you can see. One is very large comparatively. I would say almost half the size. I forget how many pieces this is. I'm gonna guess probably 2,300. I have to go look to be sure, but and yeah, he needs a little dusting, so might as well dust while we're here. The big differences here are that there are functionalities in the back that will allow you to like have his little scomp come out. That folds back up, or his little retractable hand, right? Which they don't come out very far. These would come out farther, right? It would look a little better because they would come out farther. I think a little too far. I think that could have been a 3-bar instead of a 4. The other thing is that this comes up. His little scanner right here comes up, right? And can be manipulated. I don't think it stays up. And also there is his foot, if I remember correctly, actually goes up. And I'm trying to remember how that works. His head turns, obviously. It's a smooth motion. This one's clicky. So this is also, the dome is built with these curve slopes on the fronts. This is built all stud out lol sphere style. This does not have stickers. This has stickers. So for this area right here, this is brick built. For over here, this is all stickers. The bits on the sides, like down at the bottom, these are all brick built. That's a sticker. You have to use the main legs to make the foot go. Okay, there we go. So with the main legs like this, the foot goes up, and then if you push it out, the foot comes out. And then it leans forward. Like so. So it leans forward a little bit. All right. So there's your comparison. He's a little more upright with his third leg out here. He's a little more leaned back like that. Come on. Arm things aside. But there's your size comparison on this new one. It's still a quality build. I will say this reminds me a little bit of the Slave 1, where we had like a giant Slave 1, and then we got kind of these smaller versions of like the Slave 1 and the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter that were slightly smaller, but I feel like we're a little more manageable and affordable. So this being $100, I think this was $100. For 1,500 pieces is pretty good. Or for 1,050 pieces is pretty good. These will go up sitting next to each other just because it's all Star Wars stuff on that shelf, and I've got some room. Again, the display's a little different for Malak and R2 in here, but there you go. So thanks for hanging out for the build for this all. I appreciate you guys sticking with me for this Sunday. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will be back on Thursday and likely starting the Degrassi School scanning and building in Rebrickable. So Rebrickable in studio. So look forward to that. And if you guys have any questions or any comments about anything, studio or Lego or design or Horizon or buying stuff, make sure to hang out on our Discord. We can chat there about things. And otherwise, I will talk to you all soon. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you later.